Give me a drink, bartender.
Westerns are a genre that has fallen out of style in recent years, with there being very few instances of Western stories. And when there are Westerns, they're either just okay or they end up with someone getting killed. The only big piece of Western media that we've had for a while now has been Yellowstone, which starred Kevin Costner, who is one of the few people in Hollywood that still appreciates the art of the Western. A while back, it was announced that Kevin Costner was leaving Yellowstone to start production on his own unknown Western project, which has now been revealed to be Horizon, which is a massive collection of Western stories that will be split into two parts. The first part has been released, and while it has been met with praise, it also suffered heavily at the box office, with this film becoming a massive flop for Paramount, which has prompted the removal of Horizon Chapter 2's release date from calendars. This didn't come as a surprise to me, considering the insane amount of money Costner spent on this project, and while I did like the movie, there are certain flaws that can't be ignored. So let's dive into the expensive beauty that is Horizon Chapter 1. The story of Horizon is actually several separate short stories set in the Old West that all revolve around a place called Horizon, with one story being about a young boy whose parents were killed, another being about a trail of travelers, another following a gunslinger played by Kevin Costner, etc. The best aspect of Horizon has to be the visuals, with beautiful landscapes and sets that suck the viewer into the setting of the movie, which are all done seemingly practically with no green screen. The stories are extremely hit and miss, with some being gripping narratives that hold your attention, and others not so much. Surprisingly, the story with Kevin Costner himself is probably the weakest, which isn't helped by the fact that it takes quite a while before he even shows up. The acting all around is fantastic and really sells the feel of the movie, with certain characters having exceptionally good performances, which is backed up by the great writing. There isn't much action in the film, but the action that there is very well done and feels tense, which is what you want to see in a Western. My biggest issue with the movie is the abysmal pacing. Scenes drag on forever, which is worse considering the fact that this movie has a runtime of 3 hours, but really could have probably been shortened to around 2.5 hours if you removed some of the fluff. The other issue I have that isn't as major is that this is a part 1 with no clear ending. The film just kind of picked an arbitrary place to stop, and then proceeded to play basically an ad for part 2, which to me just comes off as weird and desperate. When you look at other part 1s like Across the Spider-Verse, Dune, Lord of the Rings, or Infinity War, those movies have very clearly defined endings, and usually end on a big moment that makes you wonder what's going to happen next, which isn't something that this movie does, which leaves you leaving the theater kind of underwhelmed. In summary, Horizon Chapter 1 is a beautifully made movie full of tense moments, stunning scenery, and amazing performances, but it suffers heavily from a lack of direction as well as poor pacing. I feel like if just a few scenes were either cut or moved around, then you might have a masterpiece on your hands. But unfortunately, that isn't the universe we live in, which leaves Horizon still being a good movie, but with major issues that drag down the whole experience. That's all I got for now. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and hit that bell icon to be notified for whenever I make a new video. The next review should be Cryptmaster, so if you're interested in that, or interested in supporting the channel more, then turn on notifications and check out my other videos. Okay, that's it. Bye.